will be discussing a very crucial aspect of access to justice in India, the legal frameworks governing suits by indigent person under the Code of Civil Procedure. Access to justice is a fundamental right, but what happens when a person cannot afford the court fees required to file a suit? Should poverty become a barrier to seeking legal remedies? Our legal system must answer this question through specific provisions that enable indigent person to approach courts without paying court fees. In this video, we'll be discussing these frameworks in detail. An indigent person, in legal terms, is someone who lacks sufficient means to pay court fees required for filing a suit. The CPC doesn't provide a rigid monetary definition as the concept of poverty is relative and varies across different economic contexts. The determination of indigence is made by the court based on the applicant's financial circumstances, including their income, assets, liabilities, and family situation. It's important to note that being poor is not enough. The person must be unable to pay the court fees specifically. A person may have some income as asset but still qualify if they cannot afford the litigation cost without depriving themselves or their family of basic necessities. Before we dive into the CPC provisions, let's understand the constitutional backing for this legal framework. Article 39A of the Constitution, under the Directive Principles of State Policy, mandates that the state shall ensure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice on the basis of equal opportunity and shall provide free legal aid to ensure that opportunities are securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. This constitutional mandate is further supported by Articles 14 and 21, which guarantee equality before law and the right of life and personal liberty. The Supreme Court has consistently held that access to justice is an integral part of these fundamental rights. The provisions for indigent person in CPC are thus a legislative implementation of these constitutional guarantees. Now let's examine the specific provisions. The legal frameworks for suits by indigent person is primarily contained in Order 33 of the Code of Civil Procedure, which consists of 18 rules implemented by provisions in the Court Fees Act 1870. Order 33 of CPC provides a comprehensive mechanism allowing indigent persons to institute or prosecute suits and appeals without payment of court fees. This is done through what's called a pauper suit or suit in forma pauperis. The word pauperis comes from the Latin meaning of the pauper. Now let's look at the procedure for applying to sue as an indigent person. Under Rule 1 of Order 33, any suit may be instituted by an indigent person subject to specific expectations that we'll discuss in this video. The application must be in a prescribed form, accompanied by an affidavit verifying the particulars given in the application. Rule 2 specifies what this application must contain. It must state and particulars of the applicant's movable and immovable property, with their estimated values, their personal income and the income derived from such property, the particulars of any income from other sources, the name of the person by whom the applicant is supported and the amount contributed, and the number of dependents and other necessary expenses. The applicant must also present a written statement of their case, which would form the plaint. If permission is granted, this is crucial because the court needs to assess not just whether the person is indigent, but also whether they have a prima facie case worth pursuing. Additionally, the applicant must also obtain a certificate from the legal practitioner they have engaged, stating that in their opinion, the applicant has a good and sufficient cause of action. Not all suits can be filed as indigent suits. Rule 1 itself specifies important exceptions. That is, an indigent person cannot file a suit against the government without first obtaining the required notice under the specific statutes. Most importantly, if the person has already obtained permission to sue as an indigent person and their application was rejected or the suit was dismissed, they cannot make a fresh application in relation to the same matter in the same court. These exceptions exist to prevent abuse of the process and to maintain judicial efficiency. After an application is filed, the court examines it carefully and may order an investigation under Rule 3 to verify the applicant's financial status, usually through court officers. Under Rule 5, the court decides whether to grant or reject the application by checking two key factors: whether the applicant is truly indigent and unable to pay court fees, and whether there is a prima facie case. Both must be satisfied. If approved, the applicant may proceed without paying any fees. However, Rule 6 allows the court to later require payment if the applicant was not genuinely indigent or becomes financially capable during the proceedings, ensuring fairness and preventive misuse of indigent status. Rule 7 focuses on legal representation to ensure meaningful access to justice for indigent persons. It provides that when permission is to sue as an indigent person is granted, the court must assign a legal practitioner unless the applicant hires one privately or waives this right. This guarantees that poverty does not deprive a litigant of professional assistance, complementing the waiver of court fees. And usually, the lawyer is chosen from a court maintained panel and represents the applicant without charging fees. However, they may receive modest payment from the state through legal aid schemes. Thus, Rule 7 links CPC procedure with Article 39A, strengthening access to justice for indigent litigants. The framework extends beyond filing suits to the appellate stage. Rule 10 permits a person who obtained permission to sue as an indigent person to file an appeal as an indigent from any degree or any order in the suit. It also allows a litigant who was not indigent during trial to apply for indigent status in appeal if they have since become improvised. Rule 11 prescribes the procedure for such applications. The application must disclose property and income, be supported by an affidavit, state the grounds of appeal, and include a lawyer's certificate on the appeal's merits. These provisions ensure indigent litigants can pursue genuine claims through all judicial levels. Rule 17 is a key safeguard against the abuse of the indigent provisions in civil procedure. It empowers courts to withdraw the privilege of suing or appealing as an indigent person. If the litigant engages in vexations or improper conduct during proceedings, courts may also act when permission was obtained through fraud or misrepresentation, such as concealing assets or income. In such cases, the court can order payment of full court fees and cost and even dismiss the suit. The strict consequences discourage the fraudulent claims of the indigents and ensure that only genuine and deserving poor litigants receive legal protection and access to justice without misusing the process of law and resources. The framework under Order 33 of CPC is supplemented by the Court Fees Act 1870. The Section 4 of the Court Fees Act specifically exempts applications under Order 33 from court fees, ensuring that even the application to sue as an indigent person doesn't require any payment. Despite this detailed provision, several challenges exist in its implementation. There is often no awareness among poor litigants about their rights to sue as indigent persons. Many don't approach courts assuming that they can't afford the fees. Investigation process can be cumbersome and time-taking sometimes, defeating the purpose of quick access to justice. There's inconsistency in how different courts assess indigents with no uniform standards across the country. While legal practitioners are assigned, the quality of representation sometimes suffers as assigned lawyers may not have the same incentive or resources as trained counsel have. The stigmas associated with being labeled a pauper sometimes deters people from using these provisions. Recognizing these challenges, several reforms and developments have occurred. The Legal Services Authority Act 1987 established a comprehensive legal aid system that complements Order 33 provisions. Legal Services Authority Act National, state, and district levels have provided free legal aid to eligible persons, including indigent people. Several states simplified the application process and reduced the time for investigation. Courts have developed standard formats and checklists to ensure uniformity in assessment. Technology is also being leveraged, with e-filing facilities reducing some cost and making the process more accessible. The Supreme Courts and High Courts have issued directions and emphasizing that access to justice cannot be denied due to poverty. To conclude, the legal framework governing suits by indigent person represents a critical component of a commitment to justice for all. Regardless of the economic status, Order 33 of the CPC, along with the provisions in the Court Fees Act and modern legal aid system, creates a pathway for the poor to access courts. This framework balances the need to provide access to justice with safeguards against abuse. This also recognizes that poverty should not be a barrier to enforcing one's right, while also ensuring that court resources aren't misused through false claims of indigence. Additionally, the test of a justice system is not just how it serves the wealthy and powerful, but also how it serves the poor and marginalized. The provisions for indigent persons, though not perfect, represent an important recognition of this principle in our legal framework.